What's up guys, we're out here at SEMA 2024 and we wanted to show you guys our 280ZX right-hand drive twin turbo over here souped up with Speedhut gauges. So a little bit about this build, it's quite special. The fact that it's obviously right-hand drive, but it's the first year, 1979. And the crazy thing about it is it's got the Pandem Rocket Bunny kit, which to me really completes the wide body. The chassis of the car kind of makes it more vintage, more old school, gives it a full wide body look without being a little too crazy. Obviously it is crazy that it pokes out a lot than the usual, but the fact that it just kind of connects everything together is the best part. And one thing that makes it special is that we went with the twin turbo L series 3.1 engine, which tends to be something that you don't really see every day. Usually you see a single turbo, but twin turbo is honestly one of a few. We decided we want to make it a little special with the hood X coming out of the hood. So we went and made a custom vent on there. And we wanted to also update it by getting all the new electrical stuff. So we went and got new wiring, everything in there, just because it's a pretty old car, 1979. It's been around for quite a while, and we wanted to make sure that everything read properly. So with that being said, we wanted to make sure fuel, voltage, everything was being read correctly, because this was pretty much a full rusted shell upon starting this 10 months ago. And within about a month of starting, we reached out to Mira over at Pandem on there. We wanted to game plan, something to collab a build, something together that we wanted to really source out. So he was notifying he really wanted to do something with the build. He wanted to bring in the 280ZX 10th anniversary theme to it, and where he came in and basically came through, check out the car, and built a render for it, utilizing the same concept that we wanted to do with the 10th anniversary all together. And he was really digging the style of being able to transition the 1980 280ZX 10th anniversary into this chassis, just because we wanted to use today's technology. We wanted to really amplify all the fuel along with that, since these lines are pretty old. They tend to be pretty rusted. So as soon as you try to update, use some current fuel, you tend to have a lot of the leak issues, and fuel doesn't really tend to read correctly. So we wanted to make sure that this was running properly, just because now we got two turbos to worry about, and that becomes a lot of a headache, heating, everything in between. So what we made special for this that made us very interesting is that we work with Speedhut on actually doing a dual wideband, which is something that honestly I didn't think was possible to do, but honestly with Speedhut, we feel everything is pretty much possible as long as you got your vision to what you want to do. And they made a custom twin gauge for us that worked flawlessly. And one thing that made the best part about it is that usually when we do gauges, we tend to be a pretty simple, clean, original look. But with this one, we wanted to really spice it up. And what we did was implement the livery into the gauge, which honestly couldn't be any better idea. And Speedhut really knocked it out of the park with making sure that was implemented into the gauges, so that way everything just basically flows perfectly. So we're gonna show you a little bit about this chassis that we did to it. We went with the sand wrap on there from Militone with the gloss black that kind of really put it together. It honestly looks like paint. As much as it's wrapped, it really has a very paint vibe. Wanted to go more of a creamy color with it. Kind of has like a little coffee chocolate mix to it, which kind of blends it in, gives it that nostalgic look. And the favorite part is that we wanted it to make it look like it was floating at night. So the whole bottom is all black, and we went with the black wheels, the Watanabe 3-piece. So we went the gloss black lip and the satin black, just to kind of offset it, make it flow, make it contrast. The main point about this theme is at nighttime when you see it driving, you're gonna basically just see this look like a spaceship just floating on the air. So that's kind of the concept that we got out of it. We do have on here a restored dash that we just finished up. As you can tell, these cars, especially this one, I've never really seen a right-hand drive restored dash. So this was the first time that we ever did this. Came out amazing, just to be able to put a brand new, fresh dash, your OEM dash, fully restore it, and then put some brand new gauges into it. really just brings everything together, and there's not much into this car, so the dash really just takes most of the visuals. Every time you drive, you're just looking straight. We did put together a little roll bar that we kind of make it a little not too crazy, but wanted to make it stand out, so we kept it right behind the seat for now, just to make it complement the rest of the build, as it has a very race car vibe. So we did do a lot of body work to this. Surprisingly, this car took us about 4 cars to cut up just to put it together, which is really crazy because we had about 10 months to do this whole build from scratch. And Mira just was helping us source all the parts from Japan, helping us get a bunch of the stuff that we needed, make sure that this build got finished up, just because this year Mira was building 3 cars that he was debuting, which got debuted this year. He was working on a Z32 Rocket Bunny kit that got debuted at the Toyo Tread Pass. Also a 350Z version 2 Rocket Bunny that's outside of Central Hall. And we have a couple of builds along with him on the 280ZX. As you know, last year he debuted his car from Japan that he brought over here with the left-hand drive, just because we from here in US mainly really like the right-hand drives, and obviously our national out of country, they tend to want the left-hand drives. Never ending game right there for some reason. The right-hand drive aspect about this really stands out, as it is a true Fairlady Z, opposed to being converted as usual. The seats on here, we wanted to go with a very vintage vibe, just kind of go with the rest of the car. We went ahead and got these, we collab with Energy Prisma and got these old vintage racing seats. Basically got the little holes, or vented holes on there, keep it nice and cool. Really spacey. Wanted to make sure it still fit the vibe of the car without overdoing it. I know a lot of times the seats could really just take up the whole car, whether they're too bulky and all around. So these really implemented it into it, and we wanted to just make sure that we were able to keep the whole car looking consistent from front to back, the same flow. We even got these carbon fiber last minute. I never seen them in carbon fiber, so we just decided to add this little carbon fiber touch on there, just because it really makes a big difference on these cars. The OEM one just tends to have a bunch of slots in there, and it was chrome, so we wanted to kind of darken it out a little bit and give it a better vibe all around, connecting everything together. On top of that, we did put this car on airlift as well, just because we are from California, and trying to drive these low cars, old school low cars, tends to be a struggle out there, especially with body kits, just because there's a lot of potholes. Just driving the roads, it's just not the best roads sometimes, and something just driving a little bit low or just driving regular tend to destroy some parts. You know, you kind of live as you go. Let me take a seat and show you guys right now a little gauge action and show you guys how this feels. Yeah, these gauges right here honestly really make it all together. Couldn't have asked for a better turnout. It's just amazing. The little small touches on there. One of my favorite details really is upon the bottom part with the gold numbers. They have a little bit of gold flake in there, which really makes them stand out. Brings it all together, and it's just perfectly well dialed in. Speedhut really knocked it out with making sure that all the gauges really flowed with what we needed. Everything read properly. We had no issues whatsoever with connecting it. Very simple. I feel like after you do it once, it's just plug and play at that point, just very easy. I know the first time we were kind of like a little bit worried we weren't getting it really figured out, but even then, the first time we just knocked them out real quick. It didn't take us long at all. After that, they just take us almost no time to put them together, which I couldn't have asked any better, just because when you see a lot of wiring, it kind of becomes a little bit concerning, just trying to make sure that you get everything to read properly. But we had no issues connecting any of these gauges. And the best part is that we were to adapt these into the OEM cluster without having to make anything extra or mess a custom bezel or anything, just for the cluster to fit for the gauges. So yeah, everything worked out really well. Lunar Looks, Nick over at Lunar Looks really helped out with the gauge adapters, putting it together. Really came through, making sure that everything fit nice, tight, properly, flat and flush, which, as you can see, beautiful, amazing work. Couldn't have asked for a better team. All of us putting together. I feel like every year we really push this to the next step, and we're just always looking to keep continuing to progress and let people know, you know, what companies are capable of doing, such as Speedhut, with what they do best. And that's definitely making the best gauges in the game.